9.
There. Good as new.
The ABC debut of the sitcom Doogie Howser, MD.
She may have a slight limp.
Starring teenager Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, I get it. Huh?
I'm Brendan Brooks.
I don't think so.
And that's Rewind.
Summer Bonanza means more business in the fall months? Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credits.
This segment has been sponsored by the local Edward Jones office of Lee Colvin. The host of this show and Edward Jones have an existing business relationship. This event is not a testimonial of the services provided by Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. Just want to let you know that MTE's downtown Murfreesboro office on North Walnut is closed, and that staff has been relocated to the new central office out on New Salem Highway. So get assistance or make payments there. Or you can check out the St. Andrews Drive location for Middle Tennessee Electric. Right now, our conversation is going to be with Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin, who joins us every couple of weeks on the show. Good morning, Mr. Colvin.
Hello, Brian. How you doing today?
Good. You?
I am wonderful, thank you.
Well, it's good to be wonderful.
It is. It is. It's been a nice day, good week. Just loving life.
Loving life.
Absolutely.
You look spry this morning, you know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
Good. Well, let's see. We're going to talk about grandchildren today, looks like, right?
We are. You know, we don't bring this up enough, but we want to bring some ideas for considering financial gifts for your grandchildren.
Well, if you have grandchildren, you probably enjoy spending time with them, spoiling them, and sending them home to their parents. So they'll have to deal with, like the sugar rush and all that kind of stuff. But, those are good things that grandparents can do, and watching them grow. But, every grandparent wants their grandchildren to have a bright future.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of ways that financially you can help them achieve that future, Brian. So you might like to make some financial gifts, but then the questions are, which ones? Well,
right.
I guess the question is, which one?
So is it...
or several.
Sure. Is it a 529? Is it, an IRA of some type? All of those kinds of things. So I think we're going to kind of focus on 529s, Roth IRAs, and custodial account today with you as we consider gifts for grandchildren. So let's talk 529 because that's... you tell me, what is a 529 and why would this be something for grandparents to consider?
So, when you invest in a 529, which is an education savings plan, your earnings growth is distributed federally tax-free, as long as the withdrawals are used for what is considered qualified education expenses. So withdrawals that are used for expenses other than qualified education may be subject to federal and state taxes plus a 10% penalty. So you want to be aware of that, want to be careful around that. Also, in-state residents who invest in their home state's 529 plan may also receive state tax incentives. That can be a benefit for folks. A 529 plan can be used for college, also approved trade school programs, qualified student loan repayments, and even some K through 12 costs.
Oh, okay.
So there's been a large revamping around that the last several years. And if the grandchild you've named as a beneficiary of the 529 plan decides to forego further education, then you can generally switch beneficiaries to another immediate family member, and you can contribute, Brian, up to $17,000 in 2023 per grandchild to a 529 plan without incurring gift taxes.
Oh, that's good too. That's very good to know. So talk to me a little bit about, as of this upcoming 24-25 school year, are there anything that we need to know about that? Or is there anything, not our?
I almost feel like you know our government just a little too well, Brian.
Well, there's always, whenever there's be sure to mention, the next school year, there's there's a change.
There's something, right? Well, so you're absolutely right. The 24-25 school year, grandparent-owned 529 plans won't affect financial aid eligibility. That is huge.
Wow, yeah.
That is huge because, again, before, even if a grandparent owned it, you still had to count that toward the financial aid eligibility, which could put a real kink in someone's plans. But understand also that tax issues for 529 plans can be complex, so please consult with your tax advisor about your individual situation.
Okay. Very good to know. As we talk about financial gifts for your grandchildren and some to consider, we've talked about 529 plans, so let's talk about Roth IRAs.
Yeah, so when it comes to a Roth IRA, any earnings growth in that IRA is distributed tax-free, provided that the owner is at least 59 and a half and has had the account at least 5 years. Now, within that, if your grandchild or grandchildren earn income, what you're looking at there, from maybe they're getting it from babysitting, maybe a part-time job, they can open a Roth IRA with the help of a parent or other adult. You could match your grandchildren's contributions, possibly on a dollar-for-dollar basis, to provide them with an incentive for saving. In fact, you could fully fund the Roth IRA up to the annual contribution limit, which is $6,500, or the amount of your grandchild's taxable compensation, whichever is less. Now, the annual limit is $7,500 for those 50 or older, and your grandchildren can withdraw the contributions, not the earnings, at any time to pay for college or anything else.
Very good idea there, and what a great idea. Whatever you make in your part-time job, little Susie, and you put into your Roth, I'll match it. That's a good way to actually, hopefully, incentivize them to do some saving there. So we've talked about 529 plans and Roth IRAs here for gifts for grandchildren with Edward Jones financial advisor Lee Colvin. One final, custodial account. Talk to me about that.
Well, so you can open a custodial account, Brian, also known as an UGMA, that's a UGMA, or UTMA, UTMA account, for a grandchild, and you can fund it with most types of investments. So you can include stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and so on. There are just a lot of investment vehicles to use there. For that reason, it can be a good way to help teach grandchildren about the nature of investing. So looking at risk, looking at the return potential, looking at the value of holding investments for the long term. Plus, when you apparently don't have the hiccups, you can speak. Sorry there, folks.
It always happens at great times, doesn't it?
It does, just out of the blue. It's like, where did that come from? Along with having the opportunity to educate them on those risk returns and holdings, there's an initial tax benefit to custodial accounts. So the first $1,250 of your grandchild's investment income, now that could be dividends, interest, capital gains, that is tax-free.
Okay.
Tax-free. So
if it's free, it's for me.
Any of that growth, absolutely. And the next $1,250 is taxed at the child's rate, not at the adult's or parent's rate. So those are two great benefits right off the bat here that are just huge.
Yeah, what about after those two, after the two 1250s?
Yeah, so above that amount, the dollars are taxed at the parent's marginal tax rate. However, once your grandchildren reach the age of termination, now typically that is either at 18 or 21, depending on where they live, they take control of the account and can do whatever they choose with the money. So while a custodial account could be considered as a funding source for college, it might alternatively serve as a gift that could eventually enable your grandchild to fulfill another desire or goal.
Okay. Very good idea. Maybe, they want to take a trip, need a car for college or school or starting their career. I mean, it could just really be anything, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And, the last thing there, Brian, is that making financial gifts to your grandchildren can be rewarding for them and for you. So please consider the possibilities carefully and put your curiosity to work.
Few ideas here: 529 Roth IRA, custodial account. But if you want to talk about any of those, or if you'd like to talk about the possibility of maybe something else, to get with your Edward Jones financial advisor, right?
Absolutely. And the last thing I just want to mention real quick, Brian, is just remember, give us a call, reach out to us. We're more than happy to assess where you are, what you're looking for, and get the right advisor with you. Along with that, we do not do tax or legal advice, so we can refer out, or you can consult with your current attorney or qualified tax advisor along the way.
Okay. Good stuff to know.
Thank you, Brian.
Lee, appreciate you. That is Lee Colvin joining us today, Edward Jones financial advisor here on Rutherford Issues from News Radio, WGNS. And friends, that's going to do it for our program today. Do want to let you know that if you missed part of our conversation, you want to check out the podcast, you can do that at WGNSradio.com. That's WGNSradio.com. Also, keep this in mind as well. You can view some of the shows that we do from the studio on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, News Radio WGNS, and sign up for those notifications, and you'll see the shows as they are broadcast live. All right, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here next time.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis.
We see what we want to see. I'm reminded of a story about a hunter who owned an unusual bird dog. While other